I am so stoked right now to finally show you guys my hair. I made sure I waited until I had something good to show to actually make this video, so it's been very nice. I'm super excited about my hair. It's been a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. When it first started, I was like so sad, but it is now flowing and now going, and we are getting to that point that we can finally do a wash.
Shut up and get to the point!
I have been going back and forth if I should wash it, but just feeling it and feeling how it feels, like there is some problem points that I still want to get together, but I know with what I know from previous times, washing it and then using the towel to dry is gonna bring a lot of those extra hairs that haven't really did anything yet into a dread and kind of place them. And also a lot of the hairs that are a little bit thinner of a dread, hopefully put those together too. Now, I would like to preface this by saying, all right, I don't know what videos you guys have watched, so if you're new, here's the plan. The hair is being dreaded right now by the old method that I used previous times with the towel, and the new things that I have introduced recently have been the brush and also the sponge. Now, previous time I did have the sponge, but I only used it to start my dreads, but I didn't keep maintaining them with it. It was a sponge that I made my own holes in, so of course maybe it wasn't the best sponge at that time, but this has been my daily driver. And I did say in a previous video that we have made in recent times that the brush is no more, but I have found out a new way to use the brush that has actually been helping promote the dreading to happen a lot faster. So with the sponge and the brush, they do a little bit similar things, but a little bit different things. The sponge will bring everything together and move them around and make it look like you have a fresh retwist, but not as harsh as maybe the brush would. Now the brush is giving me that retwist, but I have to do it so light, but I do feel like once I started doing this, it felt like my dreads got dreaded a lot faster. I ain't lying, no cap. And within doing this, I have been very happy with the results. Once I do a little spritz and then do this, it holds a lot together now. I feel like my dreads weren't really feeling as rough as they should to know that they're together. And after using this, it has been feeling like that. So I'm gonna have to show you how soft you gotta go right now. We're going soft in the paint.
Okay.
So now with the brush, you wanna make sure of this. With the brush, you don't wanna go too hard because you don't wanna be ripping those dreads apart. You wanna push in enough to move them around and slowly let it work its way to the scalp. So this is what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna start, and I'm gonna show you the difference in two sections. So over here, I'm going to use the brush, and then over here, I'm going to try to split it down the middle to show you. So with our left hand, this is my left hand, earrings, where they at? With my left hand, I'm going to go forward, and with my right hand, I'm gonna have to go backwards. Now, there's a difference. So when you see this hand, you see how it's going forward? Because I'm going backwards, but then on this side, it goes forward. So that's just the only way I could really explain how to do that correctly. So left hand, you're gonna go forward. Now, I'm gonna start with it a little dry to show you the results, starting with it dry. And this is all it takes. I'm not pressing, I'm just letting the hairs find the brush, slowly moving around. And you wanna give it lift offs every now and then. You don't wanna slide it because you don't wanna pull all the hairs out. You wanna lift off of it. Now, I have been doing this to like give myself a simple little twist before I have to leave somewhere and want to make sure it looks tight. It has been working very well in this sense, and you could kind of see as I move around how it's looking. I don't know if you could see that, but it's really starting to pull all those extras in there. So let me do it in the front too, just so you can get a little bit better of an example. So I was actually very scared to do this at first, dog. I didn't think that trying the brush again, I thought it was gonna fuck stuff up, but it actually started to help. I could feel them compacting a lot more. So after just a couple seconds of that brush, you see, and this is a dry rub. Now, I always have said, don't do your hair dry. Now, that's kind of why going soft also helps, because you do give a chance for that scruffiness of the brush to push things around and push them in where they need to go. And that's just from a couple seconds of using the brush, and it feels like I have a retwist. I hope you can see this. Now, would I recommend doing that fully dry all the time? Not at all. It's kind of a maintaining way to, like, you know, get those hairs moving around, pull them out, put them in other spots. Help. I haven't tried it straight out of the shower because I haven't cleaned my hair that crazy yet, but it definitely helps. Now, here's my hair on this side with a little spritz, and this is my morning maintainer right now. Get a little bit of that sponge in there and move it around to different ways. And like I said, your right hand is going backwards there, camper. You can see. And it does feel a lot different with this one. I feel like when I do the spritz, I'm going to have, if I put a hat on after, my hair is going to sit however it is with the hat. But with the dry brush, it kind of maintains its posture, and it's very movable after the fact. It kind of stays stuck up only because the water is going to make your hair a little bit more mendable and meldable. So you're going to have that hat hair if you put a hat on as soon as you use that water. Now, looking at my hair on both sides, you can't really tell a difference. I could feel the difference just from this being damp over here.
Stop the cap.
But you can feel around. And you're just feeling it just come together at this point too. But just looking at my hair and where it's at, like this right here, that's definitely dreaded. And I know because if I turn it the opposite way, yes, the roots open up and it doesn't untwist, but up to a certain point. So that's how you're starting to be dreaded. Now that's two different little hairs that got put together, but me using the brush on it made it happen a lot better. And I have a few of those. So what I'm hoping for today is once we go through and clean our hair, that when we go to dry it with the towel, it being super damp, it'll pull hairs together. And I don't know, maybe we might try the sponge and the brush and not just the towel after we dry it a little bit, but this is an experiment right now. We're gonna see how it works. This is my first major clean since starting my hair on February 28th. I feel like I am cleaning it a little bit earlier than I had suspected to or thought I should. But I think, how long has it been? February, March, February, March, April, May. So 4 months. Can't even count the months. It's been 4 months. Oh my God, this year is fucked. This is already fucked. Okay. 4 months. I think that's been long enough of just kind of my hair being, plus like my scalp is getting so dry at this point. Like my hair is always dry. The bitch is crying for this shit at this point, okay? The hoe need it. So we're gonna get this light set up. I'm gonna go in the shower and I'm gonna try to get a good angle for you guys to watch as I clean my hair. I will be cleaning my hair with this covering on just to make sure that my hair stays matted down and that it doesn't unravel any of my dreads, only for the fact of I'm not too sure how well dreaded my hair is. So this is my safe bet right now to make sure that I can clean it and maintain it and hopefully not unravel my hair in the spots that aren't fully dreaded. But we're taking a chance here. I think we're gonna get some good results, so I'm willing to take the chance and fuck. So a few things I learned during this video is don't turn the shower on with your shower curtain open unless you can move the head of your shower, because your ground will, for some reason, drown. So we learned that one. And also, remember to look at your products before you use them, because I didn't realize until halfway through that I was using conditioner. And other thing that I learned is I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So my hair's dry now. After using the conditioner in it, I'm still hoping that it's gonna be pretty fine because I've used that a lot in my hair before. Funny enough, when I first bought it, I didn't realize I grabbed conditioner, and I've always been using it in my hair and wondered why my dreads would fluff up so much. But then I figured out, oh, conditioner. But I'm hoping for good results right now. And I still haven't taken the cap off since I got out of the shower. So this is the first reveal. So we're gonna see, but whatever it is, we know we're gonna be able to come back from it anyway. So I'm not too worried. But oh, and the other thing that I learned, everything's been out of focus in this video so far. So, oh well, we're just gonna roll with it. Who cares? All right, let's see. All right, we're gonna start with towel, see what we get, cause this looks like a mess. Oh shit, here we go. Oh, they're trying to go together. I think this is what might make my dreads all get bigger right now. Wow. So after taking this off, my hair feels like very scruffy, like rough. It feels very rough, which is surprising after just having used a conditioner. It feels very rough. That's super weird. Now, I will say, this is kind of nice though, because it feels like what I am seeing is that they are fully dreaded. They're to the point of actually holding, because look at those come back right now. And this is just to dry my hair. So there's a little bit more that's gonna take it getting fixed up. But for what we got so far, I don't think this is too bad. Wow. I'm really wondering how the back reacts to this after being cleaned up, and see if it starts to hold, because I definitely see the back of my dreads being a lot tougher and dreading up a lot more so far. Oh, see that? Even at the tips, they're knotted just from that little wash. Oh shit. Let's see if these are two that can go together. Oh, there's one in between them also. No, that's gonna mess up my middle part. So sorry, can't do it. That's weird, these middle ones are really trying to stick to the other side. This is so crazy. So this is after my first wash, guys. This shit's dreaded. It doesn't look that well right now because there's a lot of loose hair still in there, but it is dreaded. So now let's see what this does, all right? Here we go with the brush. We're just testing her out, bud. Look at that. I think I might have to hit a once around with this brush since it's scruffy right now. It might be beneficial to solidify that dread in there, because it's really sticking. It feels like my hair is so rough right now. It's kind of like a like Velcro to this. It's like sticking to it. But you're watching this live right now, solidifying these hoes for real. In a perfect world, I could do this all by myself and keep hoping that stuff like this happens, to have them all get thicker, so then I don't have to go and get my hair done by somebody. But chances are slim, but it seems like for these thin ones, the tips are like joining them right now. So if I can just keep them on their own, I might not have to worry about at least a good few of them. There you go. Get it in there. Now, I don't think a lot of people probably have been at this point in their dreads and used a brush on them. I don't think I've seen anybody really do that, but I wonder, do other people use the brush to kind of get dreads to dread a little bit more? I don't know. I know it's a good way to start dreads, but at this point in the process, is there anybody that uses a brush like this? I wonder. All right, now we're gonna try the sponge. It's starting to get fairly dry, so I don't wanna keep messing with it with the brush that hard and throw it out of whack. So let's see what we get from this now. And I'm gonna have to retwist these and put a little headscarf on, put my little do-rag on for a little bit. So I'm gonna twist them with the water base first, the water and oil, to give some health to my scalp and make it a little bit easier to mend these and twist them right now. And then I'm gonna follow up with my Jamaican mango and lime. And Once I get that in there and put the little do-rag on, I might just go sit under the heater for a sec too, just to solidify them, have them just stay. But it's probably gonna be all over the place, to be honest. Like, holy crap, bro. This shit looks crazy right now. But the towel should bring this all together more. And as long as my middle part's maintained, I think I'm happy with putting a good amount of these together if they go naturally right now. It keeps seeming like these want to go together over here. I don't know. I'm just trying to keep as many as I can right now too, because I don't know how, if I do end up going to get my hair done, how they'll want to put them together. So I'm just making sure ones are super close to going together, but I don't know. I'm trying to maintain that middle. How's it looking in the back? Oh, the back is fucked up. And I feel like when you get to this point and start getting your hair wet, they start to want to sit a lot more than they were before. And I think that's where the growth and the health of the dread begins, is when they try to start sitting, because my hair grew so much faster once it was actually dreaded. And I couldn't even tell you when. It was like overnight, it felt like. It just locks in the nose. All right. So this is what we got so far. After our first clean, 4 months in on the dreads, after all the troubles we had with putting a relaxer in here, I still got the tips on there, but they're starting to slowly fade, but I'm probably gonna end up getting them cut one day, just so my tips close a little bit better. Or I'm assuming that when they go to do my hair, they'll end up closing themselves. They'll end up closing them for me from the crocheting. This is all it takes. Literally, when you get out of the shower, this is all it takes with this method. This is, my hair was fully dreaded. It would be the same thing, just without the head wrap in there in the shower. You go in, clean your hair, squeeze everything out. After you get it in there real good and clean it, you get out of the shower, you use a towel to cut your hair to come together a little bit more, which I have a hair towel, like a normal towel that I use on my hair when I freshly get out, which kind of adds that scruff to it, which I should probably be using right now. It really does help. Just like this normal towel really does help get a lot of that hair together and solidify them a little bit better when you're getting out of the shower. I typically use this when my hair is really damp, but today I used this towel, which is to get all of the dampness out, but I'll show you how good this towel can be too. And that's only from a few swipes. And this is if you want to dry your hair or get dreads to form together a little bit more. Look at that. The tips of these are tying knots. And I think that's because they're from the relaxer. No, they're just so, I don't know. They're just so thin in this hand motion. They can't fucking handle it. But you know, they want to go together. That's what we're gonna do. This is still somewhat like free form at the end of the day. Here we go. All right, that towel is not really needed anymore. So we're gonna use our real towel now. So we're gonna spritz our hand a little bit. Get her wet. We already spritzed our hair. And there's nothing like a fresh twist, bro. Nothing. But it's even better when you can do it at home. Get up, get it done, get on the go. It's such a good feeling. And I think that's like the main component of me, why I enjoy doing my hair like this. Even if I got my hair professionally done to start, I'm still probably gonna go ahead and end up using the towel. All right, it's getting a little dry now. And this shit's gonna look crazy. I think these are going beautifully. Only being 4 months of hair growth and a slow hair grower. So being to this point is like, wow. See how thin they're getting right now too? All that hair is just sucking together. Those front dreads have been so poofy and now they're just so thin. Are you looking in the back? Yeah, I feel like this little corner right here of my head was like my problem child my first time around, and it is this time around, because look at that. What is that? Oh, so this seems like a spot that's just got too much going on. Not fully dreaded. So for right now, let's see what happens when we use the brush. Got some over here too. And sometimes you gotta isolate certain spots, really get into them. There we go. And this is real easy. When they're a little bit longer, you can actually start palm rolling and shit like that. So I do have a couple of spots up here that the dreads are trying their hardest to make some life. They need some guidance. There you go. Isolate it now. There you go. I'm gonna do this thing where I'll hold it up and let my movement slowly pull the dread down to wherever it's trying to go. You can see that already starting to form it and repair it. This whole section is gonna need a lot more time, but I'm not worried. That same exact spot actually had this problem when I first dreaded my hair, so I'm wondering if that's a problem area because of sleep, is what I'm guessing. But this brush is coming through and saving the day. The bristles are pulling everything into where it needs to go. Where the hell can I? There we go. That one, stay by yourself. See, I want them to go together, but I have to be realistic about how far they are apart from each other. That's the biggest thing. But it's crazy to see them slightly trying to sit down at this point when I just washed them for the first time. I think they're just not fully dry, so they're not gonna sit how they need to yet. But this brush is saving the day right now. So I pulled it in with the towel a little bit, but the brush is giving it that full form coil that we want when we're getting a retwist. So this is crazy. I think it's just really good on my hair right now because it's starting. This is a super soft brush, nothing too much, and I'm barely using it. I'm just touching the tip to it. That's all we need right now. Just the tip. Yep. So anything that wasn't dreaded before, I think from what we're doing right now is gonna change that. Definitely a couple more days of babying those little areas, keeping an eye on them, giving them a little bit more extra TLC because we've seen how much they came apart. But the good thing is those areas that did come apart, I felt some thickness in there, whether it was at the tip or whatever. So there is some dreading happening to it, but it's not fully there, but it doesn't mean that it won't dread fast. Also being in the back, I'm not too worried. Like I said, I wonder if this problem area is caused from a sleep habit of mine. Look, it's all back. And look at that. Already getting some bounce.
Already getting some bounty.
All right, so at this point, I'm just going to add a little bit more Jamaican mango and lime to my hair. Well, spritz it, add a little bit more Jamaican and spritz it, and then add a little bit more Jamaican mango and lime. And go ahead and do the brush some more. And then put my do-rag on. Look at that. I think washing it was definitely the best thing that I could do. I'm very happy with the results that I have right now. I think that we're on our way to making sure that these dreads stay. And who knows, maybe I might like this size, but I definitely want something a little bit thicker. But so far, I can't complain. I honestly can't complain about the results that I got from doing this clean. It feels like my hair is already starting at this point and getting to the mode of just starting to grow as a dread, like it previously did. So I'm gonna keep working on it. I'm gonna keep doing the twist how I have been, and yeah, we're just taking care of it as it goes. And I think we have something good here. considering what we had a couple months ago when I just fried my hair. But I'm very happy with like the fact it feels like there's some weight to this, you know? It's really trying to hold those cylinders, and it has its memory now of, you know, how it needs to sit after being twisted. So I think all it is just, you know, getting longer so they can all start to fall and sit in their correct spot to really form themselves and grab all the right hairs like around it and things like that. So I think I'm very happy with this clean. I did use a conditioner. That was very annoying, but I just have to slow down as a human in general in life. And we learn as we go here, okay? That's why there's no high production, nothing. It's just like, bro, let's just figure it out. I had an idea today and we're gonna try it. That's the whole point, is to see what's the best option, and if we fuck up, we knew what the worst is. So we've already kind of seen our worst so far, but there's more to come if things are to happen. But one thing with dreads, like, they're very durable, all right? That's why they have their own journey. Like, they go through things, but you could always repair, heal, transform. So we're just gonna keep going with that method of just being a little bit, you know, free with what we're doing, because this is a DIY method. This is for you to be one with your stuff and, you know, get your hair how you want it to be and be able to show up and smile with that, you know, having that, like giving that to yourself and being able to share it with the world. Why not? So I hope that my little rinky-dink video gave you a little bit of insight on how my hair is looking so far. But considering where it used to be and where it is now after taking my dreads out, I think I'm very happy with where it's at. I can finally see myself having dreads again, and it's not as scary as it was when I looked like fucking Malfoy. So yeah, but this has been a great video. I gotta go finish cleaning up this floor because it's wet all over. But I hope this helped. And if you have any questions, please leave it down below. I love y'all. Thank you to my family, okay? And I will see you sinners later. Why the fuck do I always walk off? There's nothing over